Hail to you, O cold and beautiful Isabella. Mannfred dwells in Castle Drakenhof, your rightful home. So whilst you should be rightfully proud of what you have achieved so far, there is clearly still much to be done. The Temple of Brood control the lands to the north, as far as the River Ster. They cannot be suffered to endure, lest they threaten your strength. Raise your forces, march on the foe, and show them true terror. The high mountains to the south are infested with dwarfs. Our lands will never be safe with such an enemy so close. Make plans to drive out their stunted kind in time. So set forth, Isabella, wife and warrior, beauty and horror. The fury in your eyes will bring this world to its knees.
Hello, Monsters Abound, and welcome to a brand new campaign in Total War Warhammer 2 Mortal Empires, a special Patreon supporter early access campaign. As a thank you to Patreon supporters, there was a poll up to see whether we would start as either Vlad or Isabella. Isabella won, and I think it was very, very close though. Very, very close. But I think considering that I think we can recruit Vlad pretty much right off the bat in one turn. Yeah, okay, so basically we can recruit him next turn, which is fine. And the only difference is that Vlad gives you the sort of overall faction effect of increased marching speed, so you can move 10% further, whereas Isabella gives you 3 more vampires and also increases vampire weapon damage by 25%. I want to say that's right. Yes, there we go. 25% increased weapon strength for embedded vampire heroes, which is better, basically. Isabella's just better to start with, in my opinion. Also, the fact that you can just have an entire force of Isabella and vampires, and it's fucking amazing. Because I played an Isabella campaign last year on stream, and it was pretty great. We just had all the single ladies, and it was pretty great. So you're Master of the Black Arts, so you get Spirit Leech. Not bad. What actual spells do you have? Spirit Leech. Well, okay, that's of limited usefulness then. And you have knowledge, which is fine. Yeah, so you literally... does that mean you get more? I think you just get that spell, which you already have anyway, so fine, whatever. Okay, well, we're going to just... We're just going to whack our vampires. I assent. Right, so to start off with, I always feel like going hell for leather against Mannfred, the ungrateful little shit who is currently sequestered in Castle Drakenhof, which is my house. Like, Isabella and Vlad, that's their place. And, I mean, in Isabella's eyes, he's just an ungrateful little stepchild, isn't he? He needs to be put down, almost certainly. So we're going to... Can we recruit any... Oh, hello. We can recruit more. How much money do we have? Not that much. I mean, that's generally fine. I mean, the thing is, like, against... I think our vampire batch should be pretty good against skeleton warriors because they've got a lot of melee defense, which means I don't think skeleton warriors can actually hit them, which is fine by me. So we're going to skedaddle over here. Right off the bat. We are got a little bit of extra cash, not necessarily the worst thing to have. We could get a White King. That could potentially... I mean, we've got vampires, though, haven't we? So, defences is always a good shout, really. Do we want defences? I'm kind of tempted by going with defences. Yeah, let's go defences. Probably better to get it. And, I mean, the Cursed Fields is going to give us money, so we'll do that. So, I'm tempted to, like... I do want to get more Vargeist, but they're quite expensive. And they're going to take 2 turns to recruit. So, I'm thinking we don't get them. However, we can raise them. I'm tempted to get some direwolves. Because the Bat Direwolf combo could potentially be quite good. And then I think we're just going to get more Skellingtons. Something like that, I think, is what we're going to do. Okay, so research-wise, I'm tempted to go for the Lemean Book of Blood, mostly because I think it's going to give us bonuses to our Does it give bonuses to our vampires? He says, unassured that it does. Hero recruit rank, income, Lord recruit rank. Okay, that's not going to buff up. Is there anything that buffs our vampires? Because that's monsters, isn't it? This is like ghouls and stuff. Is there anything that's going to buff up our vampires? Maybe not. Maybe not. But leadership, attrition suffered, not super useful, right? I mean, we maybe going for the melee attack for the units we're going to be using to start off with could be a good shout. Extra growth, though. I think we're going to go the Lemean Book of Blood. Let's go Lemean. Okay. So far, so good. We're just going to go hell for leather against... in fact, should we just get some zombies as well? Fuck it, zombies. Let's get zombies. Now, my thinking here is what we're going to do is we're going to try and help the evil races of the world against the good races of the world, because we've seen the Order Tide, and I do not like it. So we're going to try and kill the good and support the evil. So we're going to try supporting the Greenskins, the Skaven, even the Norskins. I don't think the Warriors of Chaos are probably going to be on our side, but never mind about that. We're just going to do our best to get evil on the rise. That's my plan. Okay, so we've got Vlad available. Now, we do want Vlad. We do want Vlad, but... let's... Now, currently there's no one home.
You need me?
There's no one home. Now, the likelihood is that Mannfred will, if we declare war and jump Castle Drakenhof, well, we can't attack. That is the one good thing about Vlad is that he is a siege attacker. Now, we could get Vlad, but that's going to take another turn. And I don't know. I think we just need to go for it. We can get Vlad.
Annihilate them.
Because we can't attack right away. We need a battering ram for some reason, despite the fact that we've got, you know, Vargeist and bats and shit. So Mannfred is probably going to attack us and bring in... Do we want to do this? It's going to be quite expensive because he costs 250. He's then going to increase our upkeep by 686. I don't think we can get him yet. We need Castle Drakenhof first. Now, likelihood is Mannfred's going to come back and attack us. So we need to be ready for that. This is a ballsy manoeuvre, but if it pays off, we could take Castle Drakenhof on turn 3. Well, Mannfred has indeed turned back up. Okay, what have we got arrayed against us? So, Mannfred himself, now he's quite dangerous. He does have some nasty stuff. He does have this Vargulf, that's going to be tricky. He does have the Direwolves, again, that's going to be tricky. I don't know where they're going to be coming on. What does the battlefield look like? Let's have a quick look. Spin, 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 spin. Okay, nice big open field. We can win this, but it is going to be close. So this is going to be a very tough first battle. In fact, this could go either way. Let's hope it goes our way. So I'm going to start off. Now, I've earmarked some units in the enemy army that need to die first, and that is the Vargeist. The Vargeist need to die. Now, we can deal with those quite easily, because we've got Vargeist of our own, we've got bats. Basically, we're going to flood them with one by one, we're going to flood them and basically take them out. So that's also going to help, because it means Mannfred's going to start dropping heals on this stuff. And basically, it means that, with any luck, Mannfred will go through all of his winds of magic early on. Because the other thing that needs to die is Old Moonface himself. Old Moonface, he needs to die. And the other thing that needs to die is the Vargulf. So, Vargeists, Vargulf, Mannfred. Those three things need to die. Everything else is killable. Even if every single unit in our army dies, Isabella can probably take everything but those three things. probably. So, the idea is our army is basically sacrificial at this point. I would be surprised if anything, but Isabella and maybe her 2 vampires come out of there. That's why I didn't bother to name the vampires, because, well, the problem with vampires is they sometimes get sad and die. It's unfortunate, but there we go. So, Vargeists are taking out the enemy Vargeists. Our bats are taking a bit of a beating, but to be honest, they are very sacrificial. Our Vargeists, they need to survive. My Vargeists and, you know, my Black Knights. If they survive, nice. Otherwise, not too bothered. Everything else here are Skeletons. They can die, don't really care about them. And we haven't actually had a look at Isabella. There she is, having a nice glass of wine. You know, same at the moment, actually, drinking a nice glass of wine. And she's brought it onto the battlefield, very classy. I mean... or she's an alcoholic, either way. I don't judge. So we've got some diabols coming around on our flank. On this flank, we've got some more diabols, which are going to deal with using our Black Knights, and then using some diabols ourselves. Here comes the Vargolf. Okay, the Vargolf. Now, our vampire ladies... our vampire ladies are pretty tough. So, by default, they have 70 melee attack, 45 melee defense, and 538 weapon strength, which is actually better than Isabella starts off with. She's only got 50, 65, 480. So our vampire lady's actually slightly better. Isabella has more health though. I like how she runs just like, have a drink! Okay, so they're attacking the Vargolf. We've dropped a Spirit Leech. We've also dropped a Spirit Leech on Mannfred. Mannfred is wandering around over here. He tried to take out our Black Knights, but I decided like, nope. Oh, well, maybe he'd take out one. So we're dropping Spirit Leeches on him because that'll make him use the Healy thing. And if he's using his Healy thing, that's draining his Winter's Magic, and he can only use that so much. Okay, so Vampires and Skeletons trying to take out the Vargolf. That's going fairly well. You can see the Vargolf is quite sad. And of course, undead units, when they get sad, just drop dead. Fair enough. It's kind of a double-edged sword. Oh god, Melissa, are you alright? She's alright, she's going to pick herself up. Okay, good. I mean, it's a hell of a thing wearing a dress. Oh, Vargolf's dead. Excellent. That's one down. And also the enemy Vargeists are dead as well, apart from that one over there. He's quite sad though, he's only got 33 health. Our Vargeists are coming down to help out against the Crypt Ghouls, smashing through them, and our vampire ladies are now hunting Mannfred. Mannfred he's trying to get away. You can see we've debuffed his melee attack. He now only has 30 melee attack, so we're going to charge after him. So we've got Emmanuel, Melissa, and Isabella chasing after him. Going to try and kick his head in. Right, if he dies, then this is basically in the bag-ish, maybe. So Vargeists, they've been doing great work, but they are taking damage. They're a good charging unit, but you don't really want to leave them into combat. They don't have much armor, they don't have much melee defense, they don't do very well in protracted combat. Our Black Knights, I mean, they'll do okay, but they're quite fragile. It's tricky because most of our infantry is getting just chewed through. These Crypt Ghouls are just going to devour them. I mean, in some cases, literally. That's Crypt Ghouls for you. They are holding the line though, and that's all we really need. Oh, Mannfred is getting his head kicked in. The lady's just... oh, and he's down. Down. Mannfred's down. Holy shit. Isabella, Melissa, and... what's her name? Manuel, that's it. Have just absolutely murdered Mannfred. Black Knight's charging in to deal with these Crypt Ghouls. The Vargeists can come in and help as well. Now the plan is having... right, we've killed the enemy Vargeists, we've killed Mannfred and the Vargolf. Those are the three main threats. The rest of this stuff is just chaff. The rest of this... we don't have many... I mean, our unit number is dropping quite significantly, but they don't have any good units left now. Basically, our vampire ladies can probably kill this all by themselves. I mean, these skeletons... I mean, the ghouls are going to do slight damage to us, but otherwise, nothing. And of course, we can heal ourselves, which is nice. It's going to chase down these last few units. The direwolves are fairly sad. Yeah, so the vampire units are kind of a double... on one hand, they will fight to last. On the other hand, they will get sad and just die. Which does mean that... it does mean they will get wiped out. Now, of course, vampire units have a chance to come back to life at the end of the battle. So even if a unit is completely wiped out, there is I don't know what the percentage chance is, but there is a chance that they will just pop back to life with very, very low health. However, it's usually better to have units run away, because a unit that runs away is more likely to actually get away. That's why having unbreakable units is very much a double-edged sword. So it's something to be careful of, and it's kind of the same with like our vampire ladies here. In my last playthrough with Isabella, sometimes like a vampire would just get split off from the main pack, and then they'd get sad, and then they would end up like just dying from sadness, and that's no fun. So you need to be a little bit careful. It's usually fine, but sometimes you have to be. And this could be close, because a lot of our units are well, they're already dead. A lot of our units are crumbling away. So you can see our right flank here is dwindling. So these crit ghouls start dying. I mean, they might take the Fellbats with them. And our Vargheists and the Black Knights. I need to be careful of these, because if our Black Knights get too sad, they will just crumble away. And to be honest, I would like to keep these guys. I mean, look at it. They've got 77 kills. They're not actually bad units. They're pretty good. I mean, they've got some bonus versus infantry, so they do another 8 damage. So they've got another 8 melee attack against infantry. So they're not bad. I mean, they're not the best cavalry in the world, but they're fine. And our Vargheist, again, can do a lot of damage. I mean, 154 kills there, 130 kills there. They have quite a punch. You can see Isabella and the vampire sisters fighting back to back, and I mean, all of this stuff, no chance to deal with that. So we're gonna carefully kind of try and maybe split off some of the enemy units and then hit them with all of, well, the 3 units, because I mean the ghouls are gone. Okay, good. So now we have 43. We have 43 troops versus 1,219, and I think this battle's very much in our favour. We've got this in the bag now. The only thing I have to be careful about is that we don't lose either of our units of Vargheists or the Black Knights. If the Black Knights there are sad, they're having a bad time, we need to get them out of there. We might be able to drop a heal on them, but they're sad, and so they're going to start taking damage. And if they're taking damage, that means they're more likely to get more sad, and then eventually just like drop dead. And again, over here you can see that, is it Emmanuel? Emmanuel's quite sad as well. You know, Isabella's trying to perk her up, but she's a little bit sad. So I mean, having unbreakable on an undead unit is really, really good, because it means they will never lose morale. I mean, because they'll never run away anyway, it makes sense to make them unbreakable. Okay, so Vargheist just picking off some of these units over here. That's quite good. So crit ghouls, they are basically, we need to make the enemy units sad. If we make the enemy units sad, you can see they're already little. Some of these are sad. They're giving little puffs of nervous farts, I guess. The battle is turning in our favour. You can see, yes, you can see the bar starting to shift, and once that goes far enough, the entire enemy army will start wavering. But you can see, like Melissa here, she's not very happy. It says there's stronger enemy, faster and stronger enemies nearby. Seriously? You're a fucking vampire. You're surrounded by ghouls and skeletons. That's not accurate. You can see our fast units picking off these ghouls, just picking off units one by one, because everything we kill makes the enemy army that little bit weaker and that little bit closer to just army losses taking effect. And as soon as army losses take effect, everything here is gone. And because this includes the garrison as well, that means we should just be able to walk into Castle Drakenhof. Ah, here we go. Laters, guys. Pyrrhic victory indeed. I mean, okay, if you want to look at it as only 33 of our forces survived out of a total of quite a few, then okay, sure. Yes, that's a Pyrrhic victory. But they're dead anyway, so Oh well. And look what we get. Now, I could get Mannfred. Ah, fuck, I don't want Mannfred. Who wants Mannfred? No one. What do I get? Moonslaker. Suffered in vampiric territory. Well, that's, going to be honest, not going to come in useful. But we did get glittering scales, which is quite nice. Less melee attack. And, oh, they still have, right, can we...
But do not assume that as we share a bloodline, thou shalt not be shackled to mine will.
I mean, I'm tempted to just ruddy kill you, mate. So, was there no battle marker here? You're shitting me. There were so many people died. Oh, well, no, there's definitely a battle marker there. Maybe it's underneath the city, rather, on it. If there's a battle marker like in a city, then it usually has the icon next to the city. But I don't think there is, so I guess the battle marker might just be directly underneath it. Never mind. Izzy, rank 2. Excellent. I think we're going to get the hunger, because always a good start. And now we've got a whole bunch of... I mean, we can get some Graveguard. What do we have here? Well, obviously, we've got the gold mine, which we want. We also have the von Carstein Court Hall, which is going to just give us a bunch of nice stuff, really. Just quite nice. What I do want to get ASAP is a Vampire Crypt. But the gold mine is definitely a good start, especially because then we can pick up some stuff like these bits and pieces, which are going to be quite useful, and also replenish the forces that were horribly mangled in that battle. Never mind. So we've got defences coming up there. That's going to be really useful, especially because the Empire are likely to declare war on us fairly soon. But that's... I mean, that's all good. I mean, look at that. Taken Castle Drakenhof turn 3. Can't argue with that. I can't decide whether I want to kill Mannfred or try and confederate him.
I am Vlad von Carstein. Choose thy words with
Hello. Hello, Zigard, you look. You look all crinkly. Got a crinkly face. Probably got a crinkly bottom as well. Oh, look. Melissa has leveled up. When do we get the hunger with you? Rank 8. Okay, until then... if we now, Spirit Leech is such a good spell for killing enemy commanders, so sure, we'll grab that. And I mean, yeah, okay, probably should replenish troops, although to be honest, most of our troops died anyway, so you know, what you gonna do?
Come, but do not assume that as we share a bloodline, thou shalt not be shackled.
Basically, mate, I'm going to give you the option of you can confederate with me or I can murder you. Options. Options, options, options. You know, you've got the options. And do I kill him or not? I can't decide.
Do not assume that as we share a bloodline, thou shalt not be shackled.
I'm going to leave it for the moment. I mean, Tempelhof might kill him. But we do kind of want to kill Tempelhof as well. Can we do the same with Tempelhof? Can we do the same with Tempelhof? Can we? Let's have a look here. Now, what strength rank are they? So they're 69. Oh no. Right, they're 162. They probably don't have another army then. Probably. I could wait one more turn and then just go for it, because they don't have much of a garrison here. So this is where Vlad... I mean, Vlad could just go in and grab that. I mean, we have to wait anyway, so let's give it one turn. Then we'll go and take Castle Tempelhof. I think what I'll do is maybe the poll for this episode, so if you are a Patreon supporter, you can vote in the poll, whether we try and, like, save Mannfred, like, confederate him, or just kill him for being a little moon-faced little goon. Choices, choices. Let's do something like that. And then, do we attack you? If we attack you, then the garrison will probably reinforce. So, yeah, I'm going to declare war on you because... Oh, you ran away. Really? Alright, well... I mean, it doesn't like my chances, but considering what I just had to fight, I do.
All shall perish.
Basically, you ain't got nothing on Izzy. Izzy is going to fucking wreck you. We could build... I mean, the likelihood is this army will come back and attack me, and then I'll have to fight them all at the same time. Mind you, on the other hand, they didn't want to fight, even though they could have reinforced. So I'm just going to build a ram just in case we need the ram. We won't need the ram. Okay, so we've got the Lemmian Book of Blood. That's exciting. Oh, we got 5 already. Oh. Holy shit, of course we would have, yeah. Okay, so, there's going to be 2 polls. Do we kill Mannfred, and what should my first bloodline be? I mean, more weapon strength for cavalry units, meh. Casualty replenishment rate, all armies, pretty fucking good. Upkeep reduction for all heroes, also pretty fucking good, considering the number of heroes we're going to have. Ambush success chance, not bad. And research rates, also pretty good. And of course, we'll awaken one of these vampire lords, so very exciting there. Okay, so we've got our ram. We can attack. It says it doesn't... I mean, it's like 50-50. I disagree. This battle's very much in the bag already, to be honest. I don't think the auto-resolve is talking sense. I'm going to send all of my infantry to climb the walls because... why not? And then we've got our Grave Guards, our newly risen Grave Guard. They're actually not a bad infantry unit. In the Undead Fort, they look quite cool as well. They do look pretty badass. And they are going to hit the gatehouse. And then we've got the little corpse cart there, which of course is and I've often pointed out, but a Zomble... No, wait, sorry. A Necromancer whipping Zombles, which of course has no effect because the Zombles don't feel pain. So, realistically, he's basically doing it for his own amusement. Which is fine, you know, I don't judge, but still a bit weird. Vargeist are fantastic at taking out units on walls. And, yeah, and our bats, just tickling some enemy zombles. They should do okay there, I think. They're doing okay there. Let's have a look. They're doing okay. But the bats, it's bats. The bat's doing... not doing very well. They've managed to kill 24. I mean, zombles. I mean, who can't kill 24 zombles? Zombles are the second worst unit in the game, after Peasant Mob. So Vargeist, having dealt with units on that wall, are now coming down. Yeah, there we go. And this is going to be absolute carnage. And we've got our own undead now climbing up the walls, which means they're being attacked from both sides. Not good for them. Where's that ram? Did we need to do all of this? It's very fancy, don't get me wrong. Don't know if we need to do it all. I think Isabella might be in the way. It's alright, they're just going to push past her. It's fine. But just clip past. That's fine. That's no problem. That's fine. Okay, here comes the Grave Guard. They're going to hit the gatehouse there. Take down that gate for us. I very rarely use rams. They're just very, very slow. By the time you can get a ram to the gate, pretty much most monsters will kick the gate in, which means they're usually pointless. Okay, the Vargeists have pretty much wiped out all of the units on the wall, and now our infantry have arrived up here in force. So that's nice. I think, did our bats survive? I don't really care if they have. Oh, they have survived. 69 kills. There we go. So we've got some enemy bats hanging out just over the victory point. Oh, the gate's down. Nice. And there's also a vampire lord down here. The forces defending the gates are now scampering hither and thither as our Grave Guard move in, backed up by Isabella and, of course, the Vampire Sisters. And, of course, our Grave Guard, you know, with great swords, are going to make very, very short work of pretty much everything. And then Isabella's here, which is going to make double short work of everything. So they're going to cut their way through. Nice and easily. There we go. Good stuff. Vargeist going to deal with the enemy bats, which, I mean, their melee attack is such that they will just hack their way through all of these fell bats. It's going to be absolute carnage. You're going to see bats raining from the... Yep. Just bats raining from the sky. This vampire lord standing there going, oh, for fuck's sake! You know how long it took to train a bastards? Just bonk, 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 bonk. I don't know why that's so funny. Oh, it just is. Okay, good. Okay, so our Grave Guard making very short work of all the zombies. I mean, they're up to 43 kills, which is pretty good. And our vampires just hacking their way through everything, really. The only thing that could potentially stop them is the Vampire Lord, and he's busy. He's busy elsewhere, because having rained bats on his head, it would have been funnier had the bats actually been raining down on his head. I mean, that one was almost his head. But yeah, all the bats are now dead. And I'm going to just jump the Vampire Lord with Vargeist just for shits and giggles. To be honest, it's probably not a good idea, because they won't probably be able to do much damage to him, and he will, like, murder them. So, probably not the best idea, but, whatever. Okay, we're still carving our way through. We don't have any AoE spells, which is a shame, because if we had some AoE, I would have just AoE'd the shit out of this lot. I mean, look, there's a nice big blob there. I mean, the likelihood is we would have... I cannot wait to get Wind of Death. Wind of Death is such a... It's just a blender. You, like, cast it on something, and it just jam everywhere. It's brilliant. Can't wait to get that one. Especially if you have lots of vampire ladies in your army, all with Arcane Conduit, which means you can just, like, spam Arcane Conduit. It's glorious. Okay, looks like the last few units of undeads are slowly crumbling away. So even our Black Knights have got in on the action. Very, very nice. Yeah, you can see the Vampire Lord hasn't really taken much damage. I mean, he hasn't killed many Varg. I think it's mostly because he keeps getting knocked on his arse. But it's not a particularly good engagement for our Vargeist. So I'm going to get them out of there. And can I just point out the shoddy construction ship on... I mean, why would you leave a gap in this wall? Like, that's not the entrance. It's just a shit position. I mean, pointless. I mean, at least here you've got an entrance. Like, that makes sense. Here, it's just a gap. Stupid. Just stupid. Okay, our Vargeist are going to get out of there because it's just... They're not doing any damage to it. Well, they are doing a little bit of damage to him. But to be honest, we can get our vampires to deal with that, considering the last few skeletons are now crumbling away. There are still some skeletons up the wall here, but I mean, we've got more skeletons. Basically, skeleton on skeleton action very much based on how many skeletons you have, and I have more skeletons. So there we go. So we just need to deal with the Vampire Lord and also this little unit of skeleton swordsmen. So we're going to do the classic double Vargeist, where you send one unit of Vargeist in the front, then the other unit of Vargeists flaps over the top and then comes in on the back, which means you then crush them and turn them into a little Vargeist sandwich. And they're the meats. Yep, it's carnage. It's absolute carnage. Skeletons everywhere. Okay, and Isabella and co heading over to deal with the Vampire Lord, because there's only one Vampire Lord here, and it's us. Well, we're a vampire lady. Looks like he wants it, though. He's coming for it. Oh, acrobatic vampire carnage. Yeah, this is... I mean, 3-on-1. It's just not really fair, is it? Just the way I like it. He's getting his head kicked in. Laters. Well, we lost the bats, but they did kill 69 before dying. Nice. And also they didn't die, they're still alive. Good. And that's another castle to add to my collection. That's good. Dream Vladdy's going to be so happy when he wakes up. He's going to be like, oh, look at all this. Now, we still have... Well, not Mannfred.
It's not the time for petty politics, mine brothers, mine kin. Any who defy mine will shall be destroyed.
Big words for a very small army. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Okay, well, we're going to have... Oh, gold mine is up and running. Fantastic. So we're actually making some income. That's nice. And we can get the Wretched Farmstead. That's going to make a little bit more. Not a huge amount, but it's something. So we'll grab that. And Izzy and Co. have... Okay, Invocation of the Heck would be nice. Extra campaign movement range would be nice. Both of those are good. Yeah, let's go with that. And Melissa. Now, Spirit Leech, very good spell. We're probably going to cast that a fair amount. So, anything, I mean, you know, increasing our power recharge rate every time we cast it. It's an obvious choice. And then finally, we're going to get the Penumbral Pendulum, because can you imagine if we'd had that in that first battle? So many kills. It would have been so good. Oh, so very good. Let's get extra growth, because that, I think, is going to be key. The faster we can build up our settlements, the better. The vampires are... They're kind of a slow boy. They have a reasonably good economy. But most of their economy buildings are, like, far up in the building tree. So they're like the Font of Nightmares and the Vampires Keep. So they bring in 200 and 500 respectively. So, I mean, you can make, you know, 700, and that's without, you know, building anything else. Something like the, was it the Gallows Hill, bring in another 200, so that's not too bad. And so it's fine. Oh, we can get the Mausoleum of the Mad Count. Where can we do, is that here? Does that unlock vampire? Holy shit, it unlocks vampire recruitment. Holy balls. What rank do we need to... Fuck that, I'm knocking down this. More vampires, because that's going to give us hero capacity +2. We've already got hero capacity +3, which means we can have a lot of vampires, basically, and they can all go in Isabella's army, and it'll be great. Also, I need a naming scheme for my vampire ladies. I'm sure we can come up with something. And we also need to get Vlad up as well, but maybe not just yet, because I still need some more money to build my economy. And we need to decide what we're going to do with Mannfred, because I mean, he doesn't want to confederate with me at the moment, but potentially I could just, like, surround and protect him until he does want to confederate with me, and then I can get Mannfred and, to a lesser degree, that other guy with the weird fetish for having his brothers tied to a cart. Gorst, that's the one. I can get him and Mannfred. I don't know if I want them, but maybe. Maybe. And then, you know, Bloodline. Which Bloodline should I go for? Vote in the poll if you are a Patreon supporter. But for now, I think we've run out of time. So thank you very much for watching. And I'll see you in the next episode.